telling motherfuckers the truth, right? So we begin to go back to our culture and follow our ways. And the first thing we got to realize is anybody on this land, we have to study what they doing if we got to get them off. Some people been absorbed into the clans, blessed in, all skin colors across the land. But all
He
those
said, "Where's Marcus Garvey? He's blowing. Marcus Garvey, you seen the water lately? You looking in the comments?
yeah. So look, the so under the matriarchal structure, everybody gotta have a purpose. So the mothers teach the children, you either gonna find the purpose God gave you, or you gonna make your own purpose. What you doing?
It was a weird, loud sound. Even my dog heard it. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Go ahead. I'm half listening. Go.
I was looking in the comments.
Okay.
All right, so the mothers teach the children at an early age that there's two ways you can live life. You can either find the purpose that God intended for you, or you can create your own purpose. So this is that predestination versus free will shit.
Thank you.
Right?
I thought I was losing my mind.
No, because predestination is you follow the path God laid for you. Right? But to choose your own path is free will. So you develop a skill into a talent, or you use your talents to develop a skill.
And this is what's been corrupted, you guys, so much, is I already see everybody has a special gift. Some people are healers. Some people got the gift to grow food. Some people can't even, have a plant. They'll kill it. So everybody has all these wonderful gifts. And we have been so like bottlenecked to not even know what that is or even have time to develop it. And hopefully we can help undo this for our children and actually see like, wow, this child really has a natural gift and not exploit it.
Anybody who contributes to the beauty of this planet by being the best thing that they can be in whatever field deserves to be properly compensated for the effort that they put in and the product they put out. Under our original culture, you weren't allowed to live off of another person's work. You give everybody credit for their work.
If you were the best bread maker,
hey, but in doing that, right? If you assist them, they can compensate you, right? But you can't take the lion's share of the market, right?
You could have been an apprentice or something like that, and then start your own. But you're not gonna,
right. So if you ain't got no talent, you develop a skill. If you got a skill, you charge a set fee for your skill. When your services is completed and your payment is up, ain't no debt in that. That's balance.
And sometimes we didn't even have the money. It was an exchange. Like I have this,
right? So
I need this from you, and let's
take an independent hip hop artist, right? He might have a friend that's a concert promoter. So his friends say, look, I'm going to throw a concert. I'm going to pay you this much to perform. So long as he paid the man what he agreed to pay him to perform, and the performance is met, then he take the rest of the money is from his skill as a concert promoter, right? So I try to teach this to the youngsters I run into that's in the music business around here, but they don't know how to capitalize on their home culture by banding together in order to put out a premium product from the local talent. Now, who executed that perfectly was Eazy and NWA.
Don't worry, bro. You and I, we already got these solutions and how to help transition to make it easier once we get there.
Yep. She said I'm not good with money for that reason. Right. So a lot of us is like we used to being able to, if you see a person that look like they need some help, we used to be able to stop and financially do what's necessary to help a person get back on their feet as long as they were willing to do their part. Now, motherfucker wants you to fall down getting them on their feet and then don't do their part. I don't know where they got that shit from, but that ain't how it works.
We will save this live. Some people are asking about Larry Hoover.
Yeah, so Larry Straight, he ready. He's negotiating the release of additional leadership across the land that are held as political prisoners and wrongfully convicted on this COINTELPRO initiative. So the reason we haven't seen them because they can't do the paperwork on their side until they verify every name and match up every person, and it's like a phone book size list of names. So we talking about maybe 60-75% of the entire prison population might be tied to this document. You know, and then they got other people that just locked up. Y'all don't have any knowledge that they even existed. Because when they locked them up, they kidnapped them off the street. They never gave them an identification number in the prison system, and then they put them in total isolation. So y'all don't even know they're there. So don't nobody,
Rise of the Moors.
so don't nobody even know to fight for these motherfuckers because they just in a cage.
Right.
We're
not even just doing this for Larry. Y'all need to understand that.
Yep. So
I hope y'all get that part.
Yeah, so some of them been locked up 30, 40, 50 years without nobody in their family. They think they've been kidnapped or murdered and left somewhere dead. The government have them sealed in the room.
Because I mean, we need you guys to understand the government's fraudulent. It then locked up, had all these fucked up ass rules. I don't care if it's marijuana possession, a whole bunch of stuff.
Mama, because you got to teach them our traditions, because what they bringing is a chance we gonna lose a lot of knowledge.
Right.
So they kept some elder women, right? They call them mammies, and they kept them in the reservation, right? And she was the one that taught them our customs. That's how they know our dances. That's how they know our rituals. But those people are literally from Asia. They literally not us.
Asia Minor.
They registered them under Dawes Roll for the purposes of signing treaties with them, because none of the original tribes over here signed treaties. They don't have no treaties with the Seminoles, which was the amalgamation of all of the tribes that left the West to come east and fight the Seminole Wars. Right. So when they backdoored us on the Louisiana Purchase, we had whole villages that was vacant, like Pueblo, Colorado, where we lived in the side of the mountain, and they say we just disappeared. We didn't just disappear. We went to fight the Seminole Wars.
Oh, they get you free.
When we went to fight war, we took the whole family.
Wow.
We got another question.
Right. And every tribe sent braves, warriors, to fight in the Seminole Wars. And they passed those Dawes Roll Indians off to this day as the original indigenous organic people to this land in order to usurp us. They know who we are. I got to tell you who they is, so they ain't got one up on us. Now we on a level playing field.
Right.
I feel that.
Yeah. So you telling me so they basically flim flam and made it seem like they was gonna send us up north, like same thing they did with when they tried to put us on the ship and they said we can leave and then they burnt the ships down.
Well, I don't know what ships you're talking about, but
When we lost the war in Grenada, they said that we can go back to Britain, and then when we got on the ships, they burnt us out. The children, us, everybody that was on the ship, they set the ships on
yeah,
fire.
that wasn't us.
Oh.
You got to keep in mind when those European powers came over here fighting each other on our land. We ain't had nothing to do with that shit. We was standing back watching, talking about how savage they was killing each other. Now they've imposed a culture and weaved it into our community, and we doing to each other what they were doing to each other when they came.
Right. So we basically got indoctrinated with their culture of living.
Yep. Through the school system.
Yeah, 1902, Frederick T. Gates and J.D. Rockefeller.
The school system is to deliberately dumb you down.
Yeah, that's what he said in the philosophy and the General Education Board. That's when it was set up in 1902.
Mm-hmm.
Indoctrinate us with European
But they
culture,
had already started with what they call church schools.
Yes. Yeah. This is 1724. We just read that. The Christian black codes.
That's when they first started miseducating our children.
Yeah, we just read that on the live. Christian black codes, 1724. Yeah, because that's the dogma you was talking about. I understand that, and that's when they put a black person in the church and the slave shit on the slave farm from the plantation, and then everybody start following that shit. You're right, I understand that.
Look,
but then
there goes something else you didn't know. The nigga that they called the house nigga, he was the nigga that owned the slave house.
I said that to people.
He owned
that,
those pale people that was in there is called a cat's paw.
Yeah, that's the basically like the face, like the face of the company,
right.
Like so the boy off of Django, that's why he killed him. He was the real slave owner.
That movie was specifically to tell us exactly that what you just said.
Yeah, he was a son. That's why he murdered him.
Look, the entire movie was for us to see him for who he was. Django wasn't the main character. He wasn't the main.
It was the old man.
So wait. You talking about the dude that set him free was the main character?
No. The slave, the old man that came out the house like, who that nigga on that leg? He was a sellout.
Yeah. What the hell was his name on there?
That was his plantation. His family owned it before the white man took over. But he was the face of. He basically all right. So this is what I got from that story. So it's not that story, but back in the day, the Europeans didn't have any power, but they were killing Moors that had not had slaves, but they were killing Moors that had land and stuff like that. So they would hire. It's like it was a movie came out about banks. Black people wanted to own their own banks, and they hired a white motherfucker to control the banks and have it be the face. You couldn't do that, so they would hire somebody to be the face of it and still run it from underneath the seats. So basically, what he's saying, that's what Samuel Jackson.
So
but
they're not gonna put it in like that. They was marrying our daughters.
You're right.
Right. And when they married our daughters, they moved into the big house. Right.
And
yep. And once they was in there, they killed off the family and put
the
pale people out there as the ones that was doing it.
Like a Pocahontas story from Philadelphia.
Yeah, they thought Pocahontas was the redhead princess that they've been hunting for years.
No,
that's why they took her to Europe.
Yeah.
Hey, we got this question too, y'all.
It says, "Where can you find out this information, Rod?"
Which part? Because we went over a whole bunch of shit in this.
Shit, we read all this stuff.
Yeah, we need all this.
Everything that he's talking about, we read.
All that stuff is.
I'm talking about. I know we read it. I'm talking about the stuff that he's talking about, like about how the Walketeers, because everything that we made them do that over there across seas, literally. You know, for real. We made them do that across seas, and then they made us do it. Well, they made it seem like they made us do it over here. But from what he just said, we really didn't walk that. We didn't walk from South Carolina all the way from the south all the way to North Dakota and South Dakota and all that. We didn't do that.
That was a whole campaign to infiltrate us.
All right. So they basically lied. They basically Swift's Flim Flam. They basically took the people that were supposed to walk and then put their people there so
David
they can,
Copperfield made
empty it.
David Copperfield made an elephant disappear.
This is what we talk about the names. You see, he say Indians. They go to names.
Yeah, they were Indian. They weren't the real original people because we didn't identify as Indian.
Exactly.
They didn't either. They did identified as Hindu. They was Hindu stand until the early 1900s.
Yeah.
See, when the people that was in power, they was coming out of the Scottish Rite Lodge.
Yeah, Scott is right.
And they were the ones who wanted to be concealed because they didn't want us to rise up against them.
Wow.
One of the things we did, because they used pale face to block institutions, is we invited half of Europe to come over here so we can overrun their institutions with pale faces so we can get the information out using the same pale faces. Then you produce somebody like a Maxwell Jordan who's going in their institutions to get that shit out, like a Manly P. Hall, like a Madam Blavatsky. So we use pale faces to get our shit back.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't let us in there to get it.
Yeah,
Scott is right.
Years old or something like that.
Yeah. All right. So we basically getting them to do that stuff.
Yeah,
No, we wasn't. They was doing it to undermine us.
And then
the whole goal was for us not to be able to know that we organic to this land over here, and to call ourselves something that we not, and accept the fact that the people that got kicked out of Europe is the heirs to over here.
Wow.
Exactly.
And as soon as we admit that they the heirs to over here, and we admit we came from Africa, they win. Because we don't even know who the fuck he is.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know that. But what you mean? Is it a race war possible?
The European Empire is against the
There's no race. There's only one race on the planet. It's our race and it's the created race.
We not even a race. We races got
mankind.
Ours are determinate.
Yeah.
Races got beginnings and endings. We've been here since beginning. What Noble Drew Ali's time never was when man was not. That means we was here even before they created the construct of time.
So in other words, race a title then. That they just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Put on us to make money and shit.
It's divide and conquer title. It's basically like, but
no doubt.
We all are the human family.
Now, there's a couple reasons.
I'm not a human. I can relate to that because I say that all the time too. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a human. I'm a divine being. You know what I'm saying? If we're going to claim something.
We all know what we're talking about outside the body. We're talking about everybody, spirit, soul. Yeah, we all not human because we have a soul inside of the shell.
I was vibrating with that. I just wanted to say that. I'll say that.
Okay, so they want to know about the usurpation. First of all,
using the Trail of Tears.
You got to know. Excuse me. The first thing you got to know is when they got here, they seen us. Those people wasn't here. Where did they come from and when did they get here? By answering them questions alone, you have to study ancient history. These people was called Etruscans when they first settled in Europe. And they established the Holy Roman Empire. Right? They infiltrated the Greek Empire under Alexander.
Alexandria.
And Alexander was the one they used to go get the cash scrolls out of India. When they say he conquered the world, because the cash scrolls was to teach you how to control people and give them a lot in life that they won't fight against. That's why we've been able to be held down for so long, because the system that they're using is come from India. It's the caste system, and the caste is predicated upon skin tone, right? So then you go back to the Boule and you find out about the Brown Paper Bag Club. Right, so this is how you know anybody darker than a paper bag couldn't get in into any of their institutions, right? Because all of us over here was like this color, right? Except for the ones in Kentucky. In Kentucky, we had Irish and Scots from when they fled after St. Patrick's slaughter.
The sneakheads.
Right. So we invited them over here. So this is why you see my mom Brigitte, the Irish woman, in the pantheon of the Orisha. Right? That's who they was looking for when they captured both Pocahontas and Sacagawea. They took them to be evaluated in London as the rightful heirs, what they call the Grail line. And it wasn't them. Because it's supposed to be a fiery redhead, but they had dark red hair, auburn red. Right? So they knew then that they wasn't the right ones. She's supposed to look like a ginger from Ireland.
Right.
Right.
Like a lily white person.
You're right.
Yeah.
So that's why they sent them back over here. The story had to be told